Welcome to Sun City News. I'm your host, Norma Taylor. Here are some of the stories we're starting off with for this week. Securitas Chief Joe Schetting is in our studio and answers questions about our safety. We have some alligator safety tips from the community. And later in the program, we highlight an article from the Bluffton Sun contributor Joe Torino about sports reporter Doug Wright. Those stories and more coming up. Sun City News starts now.
This is Sun City News. With our news team bringing you stories from Sun City and the Low Country. Taking the lead with entertainment news. And on deck is our sports report. Sun City News, from people you know, about people you know. This week's SCTV News starts now.
We are happy to welcome back Securitas Chief Joe Schetting to discuss safety and security issues in and around Sun City. Well, welcome back, Chief, to Sun City News.
Thanks for having me again.
It's always good to have you. Well, let's talk about Sun City West. Number one, there's a huge, tall bridge there. When is that bridge going to be up and running?
Well, I spoke with Pulte a couple weeks ago, and we expect it without any issues to be open within the next 4 to 8 weeks. They're doing some final improvements to the bridge to make it a little bit safer, but we expect it to be open in that time period.
Okay, that's pretty soon. Okay, next question. The sign at the bridge indicates that golf carts and pedestrians only on this bridge. No bicycles. So how are the bicycles expected to get across Argent Boulevard?
Well, the bicycles can walk over the bridge. The reason that they're not allowed to ride on it is it's a bit steep. I can tell you that I took a walk over the bridge a couple of weeks ago, and it's actually steeper than it looks. And I know it looks pretty steep, but it is a concern, with people riding their bikes on the bridge. And I would like to add, because it's some of the questions that have been posed to me over the last few weeks, can people ride e-bikes over it or e-trikes? They have those three-wheeled. No, a bike is a bike, and whether it's electric or manually powered, you can't ride a bike on a bridge.
Okay. But you can take your bike and walk it over the bridge just like a pedestrian would.
And if you don't want to do that, then you have to cross Argent.
And be very careful.
Yes.
Okay. And speaking of Argent Boulevard, it's an extremely busy street and getting busier and busier since so much overbuilding across the street. Will a light be installed in the future at that site?
Well, that's certainly in the plans. I mean, I know that it's been talked about. It's really a DOT. That's something that the DOT has oversight over. Requests for a light there have been put in. When that happens is really, I couldn't tell you. But I do know that we want to get one there. I mean, it is a very busy intersection, like you said. We've had already multiple accidents there, some serious. So I want to see a light get put there sooner than later. But like I said, it's not something that we can do. It has to be done by DOT.
Okay, so we have no control whether they do it or they don't do it. We just can request.
Yeah, we request, and then what they do is they do a study and determine the traffic volume and whether or not it warrants a light.
Okay. Well, you'll keep us posted on that.
Yes, I sure will.
Okay. Now, there is a security station at the entrance to Sun City West. It's manned, but how often is it manned? Is it manned like here on Sun City South, manned 24 hours a day?
The Sun City West main gate is manned from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., just like the North Gate in Riverbend. Mm-hmm. The main gate on the south side is the only gate that's open 24/7. So that gate, if you have guests coming in after hours, say they come in at 11:30 at night, if they pull up to the gate, they just use the intercom system. So if they don't have their pass yet, we can look it up in the system to see that there's a pass available for them, and then we can manually open the gate for them. And that's kind of what we do over at Riverbend as well. And I'm trying to get that system at the North Gate too, because right now the North Gate, if you come in after hours and don't have a pass, you have to go over the main gate and then jump over the bridge. So, but that's what we're doing. Now, in the future, we anticipate that gate will become 24/7 only because of the amenities that are going to be over there. And as the amenities, start growing, there's going to be more people coming in earlier in the morning, and we anticipate that we're probably going to have to man it 24/7.
Okay. And there's so many people now moving over to Sun City West. I'm sure you've had to add added security too for all this.
Yeah, we've actually included an extra patrol, but there's already hundreds of homes over in Sun City West, so the call volume's going up, and more homes, more issues.
More homes, more issues. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Well, as always, Chief, thanks for stopping by and answering some of these questions.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Alligators are moving around the community this time of year, so please be aware of your surroundings. Alligators are a part of the natural landscape within Sun City, and their presence in community lagoons signals a healthy ecosystem. Although an alligator in a lagoon or on the bank of a lagoon may not be aggressive, children and pets should not go near the water's edge of lagoons. Please do not feed the alligators, as it is illegal and dangerous. Alligators usually become aggressive after they are fed by humans. If an alligator sees humans as a food source, it has a reason to approach them and could become aggressive, meaning it will have to be removed from the community and destroyed. Homes that have bird feeders close to ponds attract birds and other small wildlife, including deer, raccoons, and rabbits. Alligators might approach these yards to capture prey. If you're spending time fishing, the best practice for baiting your hook is to face the water. Do not turn your back to a pond. Those who are golfing should be alert near lagoons. Be cautious when trying to scoop balls out of the water. Now, if you think you have an aggressive alligator on your property, contact Common Area Maintenance at 705-6358 during business hours, or security at 705-4083 after hours. They will review the situation and determine the best course of action. Now, please note that alligators can only be removed by a qualified and licensed individual who must obtain a permit from the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. To obtain the permit, the reason for the alligator removal must be specified. Alligators cannot simply be relocated because they will find their way back to the area from which they were removed. Remember to stay alert and remember these best practices while enjoying the outdoors this spring. Still more to come. Georgia Lash gets a Beaufort County update. Ann Prianti attended the Eat Smart, Live Longer distinctive speaker series. Kathy Salkowitz checks in with the organizers of the Suntones Cabaret Dinner Show. We'll return after this brief break.
Great fun. The first one up is Cypress Run, and Cypress Run had an annual, actually it's the 10th year of their annual, I'll make sure I have this right, sandwich, soup, salad, and dessert get-together. Next up is Fox Lake and our Spudtacular. Oh, well, we have another big green event with Botany Bay over at Riverbend. Next up was March Cove, and boy, did they do St. Patrick's Day. They had scenery from Ireland. They had Irish step dancers. Okay, and lastly was Oak Terrace, and they did a March Madness ice cream social. So they had games, and they had played, and there were definite winners. Okay. And then they did the brackets.
Want to know what's going on in Beaufort County? Beaufort County Council Vice Chair and Sun City resident Tab Tabernik clues us into all the resources available for our information.
Tab, we're used to seeing you in Sun City, but today SCTV is privileged to have you here as the Vice Chair of Beaufort County Council. And we feel so lucky because you make it very easy for us to get informed about what's going on outside the walls here, outside the gates, in the entire county. But I think sometimes we need more responsibility personally, and I think the county's done a beautiful job of giving us some invaluable resources. So we're going to make you tell us about those. And can we start with the online?
Sure. So I think we do have a really great informative website, and I did show it one time at Low Country. So the first thing I would say, everybody go on BC.gov and just go all the way to the bottom and sign up for all calendar alerts. So every time there's a meeting, every time there's something comes out, you're going to get it to your inbox. So if you have that, please sign up for it. The calendar's there. So if you go on today, let's say you went on last Monday, you would see the agenda and the packet for our council meeting. It's all there. Everything's there for you to see, very transparent. So then if you go right back up in the left-hand corner, it says, I want to. And so then you pick your poison because there's a whole list of stuff. And I'm just going to talk about a couple things. So one thing I watch all the time, if I'm going to the island, I look at the traffic cameras. You can click on any one of them along the way, and you can watch the on-time flow of traffic. So if you're going to the island, you can click on, Buck Island Road. You can click on where Moss Creek is, and if you see it's at a standstill, you may not want to go on 278. Okay, it does have 278, 170 intersection. It has all the way around. So the traffic cameras are there. That's great. That's one of my favorites. The other thing is everybody says, what's happening across the street? What's going in here? What's the development? So anything in unincorporated Beaufort, and I have to say that because, for example, what's happening across from 170 from our back gate is Bluffton.
Okay.
But if it's unincorporated Beaufort, like Pepper Hall, okay, or they're building a new Hilton Head Buick next to the current one, if it's unincorporated Beaufort, you can go to the project dashboard. It's right there, and you'll see the project, and it'll say in submission, approved, in design, in construction, like Kia when it went up. I kept following it. Right. So that's the project dashboard. So when somebody says, well, what are they building over there? Like everyone's asking me about the car village. Okay, that's Bluffton. That's not us, but that's on 170. So the project dashboard's there. The other thing I tout all the time is our financial tools. Because people say, we don't know what you do with our money. You're not transparent. Yes, we have a department portal, so you could see how each department was budgeted and what they're spending. And you can see the overall budget. It shows you like a clock, how much is spent, how much is left. So all the financial information's up there, and I wish people would look at that. Then on a personal level, you can look up your property taxes. So I had a little issue when I was trying to find mine because I am a tenant in common with my roommate, and so it doesn't pop up right away. But you can find your deed on there. You can find your property tax history. Somebody might buy a new house and say, I wonder how many taxes they paid when it was built in '07. Yep. It's all on there. You can also register your property for a fraud alert. I guess this is very popular. Lieutenant Caladine talks about it. People can go in and put a lien on your property or literally try to take your deed. So if you have the fraud alert on it, you can get a notification that someone is looking at it. It doesn't stop the fraud, but it gives you a notification.
Oh, that's good.
It's creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you can pay your property taxes, your personal property taxes. You can pay any fines you might have, any business fees you have. All of that's on there. Literally everything's online anymore. You can look up the assessor's office, how your property's assessed, what your tax bill breaks down to. That's all there.
The Eat Smart, Live Longer Club has been presenting distinguished speakers from all over the country on how changes in diet and lifestyle can significantly increase your health and well-being. After his recent presentation, Ann Prianti sat down with Dr. Ted Barnett from the Rochester Lifestyle Medicine Institute to learn more.
So, Dr. Barnett, I understand you're also known as Dr. Veggie. Can you tell me where that came from?
Sure. So, I've been teaching vegetarian and vegan diets for a long time now. And back when we were first getting email, and I had to sign up for an email service, I signed up with AOL, and I thought, well, I'll be Dr. Veggie at AOL.com. And then Gmail came out, and I signed up for drveggie@gmail.com, and then same thing with me.com or iCloud. So yeah, I've grabbed most of those. And in fact, my license plate is Dr. Veggie as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I understand that you had an epiphany in 1991 and became vegetarian, vegan, plant-based.
Yeah.
And you did some research into it before you decided to embark on this path.
Yeah, right.
And said that you found out not only was it safe, but it was optimal. Can you tell me how a plant-based diet is optimal?
Sure. So, we had two little girls. They were born in 1987 and 1989. And my wife had become interested in being a vegetarian for a long time. I had always considered myself to be an environmentalist, and I was interested for the environmental reasons. And then I started reading about how, you can basically produce food on about 1/10 of the resources if you're plant-based versus if you're living on an animal-based diet. So, 1/10 of the resources is significant. Even back then, I was concerned about global warming and environmental degradation. So I set the bar pretty low. I said, well, if we're going to make this switch for environmental reasons, and my wife wanted to make the switch for ethical reasons because of the animals, I said, well, we're raising a family. We want to make sure this is going to be safe for them. And my parents didn't raise me on that, and they're both very smart people. I thought, well, I should do some reading. And the more I read, the more I realized not only is it equivalent in terms of safety and health, it's actually a lot better. And one of the things that really got me going was reading Dr. Dean Ornish's work on reversing heart disease, where he actually did a randomized controlled trial on patients with heart disease who actually had an angiogram, which is an objective measurement of what the artery looks like. And they started them on this program after their angiogram. A year later, their symptoms were better, and the angiogram was showing that the arteries were opening up. Now, what were the odds of that? In medical school, I kind of learned about plaque, and I thought, well, plaque is made out of concrete. It's not going anywhere. Well, that's not true. Plaque is at least partially reversible, sometimes completely reversible. So, yeah, and you can do that with diet.
That's incredible. Yeah. So it's not just optimal for the environment, it's optimal for whoever's on the plant-based.
That's right. It's optimal for humans, which I think is important for most people when they're first learning about this. They want to make sure that, most people have an incentive, which is that a lot of people have a chronic illness like diabetes or heart disease, and they want to, they don't want to be on medication the rest of their life, right? And they don't have to be.
If you have one last thing to tell our viewers, what would it be? Just one quick.
Eat more plants. Eat lots and lots of plants.
Well, great. Thank you so much for taking this time to talk.
Yeah, pleasure.
Our reporter, Kathy Salkowitz, caught up with Kathy O'Donnell, Lisbeth DuPont, and Donna McCann of our Suntones Women's A Cappella group prior to their popular cabaret dinner show, and shares some of the excitement.
We are here getting ready to go in to the fabulous Suntones show. Many of you, we're usually sold out here at the Suntones Cabaret show. So I managed to get a minute with their new president. And Kathy, can you tell us a little bit about this exciting show that you have coming up?
Yeah, we're excited that people are here tonight and that they're going to hear us with our theme, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And what we're trying to do is spread joy and love and let it happen through the music that we sing. And we're really excited to have that opportunity. We have an MC, Mike Morris, who's the piano guy, who will do what he's done in the past, host it, MC, and entertain in between. So you're in for a couple of hours of really good food and entertainment.
Thank you so much, Kathy. We can't wait. Catching Lisbeth DuPont for just a moment before she goes in to direct this amazing show. Lisbeth, what is it like directing an all-women's barbershop group?
It is the best thing in the world because barbershop is so different. We learn the music and then we sing it by heart. So one of the things that it does for the women that I have loved for all those years I have been in barbershop is that it improves your self-esteem, because singing is sort of naked when you're up there. And we work a lot on vocal production, we work on performing, we work on reaching out and get the heart of the people we perform for. And with Can You Feel the Love Tonight, that is what we want to do.
Elizabeth, that sounds exciting. And how many years have you been doing this?
Well, I have been a director for 46 years. I started down here in 2017 and became the full-time director in January 2018.
Thank you so much. I know you're in a hurry. I'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
Well, we all know Donna McCann from being one of our favorite soloists. Donna, can you share with us what you enjoy the most about being in Suntones?
Sure. Well, I've been a singer my whole life, but never having had any formal training, it really intrigued me when I learned how Elizabeth runs her chorus, how she stresses the mechanics and the vocalization and the breathing techniques. And I love that. It has given me so much more knowledge and improved my own singing dramatically. But the bonus, I think, of Suntones has been the camaraderie that I have found with these women. It is truly a sisterhood, and we support each other. We celebrate each other when we have something wonderful happen in our lives. And if there's a problem, if we're going through something, we reach out and we support. So that's been the bonus of the whole experience. Still much more ahead on Sun City News. Randy Selman's here with entertainment. The Bluffton Sun reporter interviews Sun City TV sports reporter Doug Wright. And Mike Romano has sports. So make sure you come on back.
No April Fool in here. Joanne and I are ready to bring you a fun and informative April episode of Extra.
We're bringing you sound waves and a fashion show fundraiser.
We take you to the Foodseum, an interactive collection of artifacts about a favorite subject, food.
We take in the beauty of our Sun City hummingbird and butterfly garden with a healthy dose of good gardening tips and tricks.
Cable viewers, please check our program listings on the Sun City website. And most conveniently, you can always catch us on our YouTube station, where we invite you to subscribe for easy viewing. Now let's head over to Randy Selman for some entertainment news.
Thanks, Norma. This is the most ideal weather to enjoy balmy evenings at Monday's Live by the Lake. Each Monday from 4 to 6, dance to the music or simply indulge your listening pleasure at this free event. Bring a chair, beverage, and snack. The May events calendar has some fun options. Let's start with Mayfest at the Pavilion on May 2nd and 3rd at 6 p.m. Dance to the music by Continental Divide, a popular Southeast band. The $18 tickets are still available online or at Lifestyles. Don't forget to bring your chairs. If you don't feel like packing a picnic, food trucks will be available. More fun is coming to the Pavilion on Thursday, May 22nd. Music in the Square presents The Rogues. The show starts at 7, but the gates and cash bar open at 6. The capacity is 600 and tickets are $12. See you there. For all you wine lovers, pick up some tickets to the wine tasting event on May 28th. Winebow is selecting the wines to accompany light refreshments from Downtown Catering. Enjoy sipping and socializing. Tickets are $40 and are available online or at Lifestyle Services. Capacity is just 60, so get tickets now. The event will be at Riverbend and will start at 4 p.m. For a great music opportunity, here you go. Coming up this weekend on Saturday, April 26th, legendary Bonnie Raitt will be appearing at the Johnny Mercer Theater in Savannah. Miss Raitt is a 10-time Grammy Award winner and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, and is known for her blues guitar work and distinctive blues-influenced vocals. For all you theater enthusiasts, the award-winning Broadway musical Waitress opens at the Art Center on Wednesday, April 30th. More about Waitress on next week's show. So remember, life is entertaining, so don't miss the show.
In the recent issue of the Bluffton Sun, contributor and Sun City resident Joe Torino features Doug Wright, Sun City television sports reporter and host of Sports Done Right. From his humble beginnings in Detroit, Michigan, to his distinguished 40-year career as a tax merger acquisitions lawyer in Atlanta, Torino highlights his journey to volunteer at SCTV, Sun City's own television broadcast, beginning back in 2018, 2 years after moving to Sun City in 2016. Doug's story is a compelling reminder of the rich tapestry of experience that individuals bring to their roles in Sun City. His journey from his law career in Atlanta to the broadcasting studio of SCTV highlights a life lived fully, with each chapter as vibrant and engaging as the sports stories he has shared with his audience each week. It is clear he has thoroughly enjoyed volunteering at SCTV very much. And very recently, following his interview with Torino, at the age of 78, Wright turned in his microphone and retired from SCTV. His contributions to Sun City and SCTV have been incredibly significant, adding sports news in a new and interesting way for those Sun City residents who love all the sports the community has to offer. All of us here at SCTV will miss his sports reports.
So don't just eat, drink, and get further addicted to your electronics this holiday season. Keep that body in motion. Doug Wright, Sun City Sports.
Now here's Mike Romano with sports news.
Hello, sports fans. In golf news, the 2025 Men's Golf Association Member Golf Tournament opened up with an 18-hole round at the Argent Lakes Golf Course. The first round included a 9-hole net scramble and a 9-hole net alternate shot. The tournament will conclude on April 23rd at the Hidden Cypress Golf Course. The final round format will be an 18-hole net two-man best ball. Winners will be determined by a 2-day lowest combined net score. Good luck to all those golfers participating in this fun event. In other golf news, the renovation of the Okatee Golf Course is underway. This major project will modernize and refresh the course. We'll bring you periodic updates and interviews as the project progresses. We here at Sun City have a plethora of sports programs. Let's listen to one resident who played in last week's Low Country Pickleball Classic.
So I'm with Fiona, who has just completed a set of pickleball here in the Low Country Pickleball Classic. Fiona, how do you feel about playing in this classic?
Well, I felt really good yesterday. Today's not as good, but that's what happens when you play in competition. Some days you win, some days you lose.
Are you enjoying it?
Yes. This is a really, really well-run tournament.
So Fiona is from the south side of Sun City. She's part of this tournament, and we wish her well. Hopefully you can come home with a trophy, and we can get an interview with you with a trophy.
You should have done that yesterday.
Thank you, Fiona.
Thanks, Mike.
That's it for this week's sports report. It's now time to get outside and get some sun. Mike Romano, Sun City Sports.
Well, that's our show for this week. Thank you for watching. Catch us on cable and on our YouTube station, where we invite you to hit like and subscribe. To see expanded coverage of some of our SCTV stories, tune into our monthly show Extra. And if you have questions and comments, email us at suncitytvhh@gmail.com. Make sure you check in with us next week for all the news that's in your neighborhood. For Sun City News, I'm Norma Taylor.